Hi, this is Ben Rogers. This is the Property Diary. Wednesday, 27th of February. Almost at the end of February. Crikey. Okay, so where are we at? Today's been a pretty full-on day. I've had one of my clients, coaching mentees in the office with me today. Just kind of shadowing what I do. We've been making some phone calls, we've been looking at some of the emails that we do, we've been looking at some of the online activity we do. So just been really sort of following and understanding what we do. It's been a good day and there's been some learnings from it. So I just want to share some of those learnings from today. Some of the stuff that we've been doing online, so kind of filling the hopper, finding potential sellers for properties. A lot of that we'll do online with things like Gumtree, and one of the sites we've been using has been was it Previously Loved, or what do they call it? Pre-Loved. Again, the place where people are advertising houses for sale. Now, we're sending emails out to people, and the feedback we were getting was, no, just not interested. So I made the comment to my guy. I said, well, look, what do we do with that? Do we just accept that at face value, or do we maybe take it one step further? So I'm just sort of send some emails back saying, just for learning purposes, could you tell me why you weren't interested? Now, the three that we had like that today, two of them came up trumps. One just said, look, no, can't be bothered. And that was it. So they're clearly not motivated to sell the house. Or for whatever reason, they've made their mind up there's something that we're doing that we're obviously not doing. But the other two, one came back and said, to be honest, I was fed up with all the scammy sort of responses I got. I just was sending the same back to everybody. I tell you what, why don't you tell me what you can do, and maybe it's worthwhile having a chat. And the other one basically came back and said, yeah, okay, now you kind of got past my sort of filtering system, yeah, please tell me all about it. Now that was from two dead leads in effect. So it just goes to show persistence is key here. Even when you get a no, don't accept no as a face value. You know, it could have just been how they were feeling at the time, so it's quite important. Anyway, three of the key phone calls we made today. I'll sort of go through these. First one was from a lead from one of my friends, Elaine. She's got a website that generates inquiries. Sometimes she doesn't know exactly what to do with them, or she hasn't got time to do with them, so she passed them on to me, and we do kind of a joint venture on it. This was a property up in Peterborough, is it? No, sorry, Nottinghamshire. The background to this is the guy has split with his wife. He's still living in the property. He's not on speaking terms at all with his wife. The only way they speak is through solicitors and letters from the solicitors. So you can see it's not exactly a great position to be in. Anyway, long story short, he's got his property up for £450,000, but that's what he's got it up on online on the. That's what he's telling Elaine that it was worth. It's actually only worth about £330, and that's what he's got it up on Rightmove with the local estate agent. But he's still not getting any bites. He's got a mortgage of £320, and speaking to him, he's accepted that both he and his wife are going to have to swallow any negative equity, and they're going to have to come up with the difference. And he's also hasn't paid the mortgage of £1,200 for the last 6 months. So, there's a chunk of money there that's not being paid. He just wants to walk away from it. And guys, we can do this. They bought it for 450 grand, which is where the 450k came from 5 years ago. So there's clearly some potential for it to rise over time. And it's a nice property. It's a nice big 5-bedroom in Nottingham. Bottom line is that we need to speak to his wife. He sent a text to his wife with the office number and the mobile number, so I can speak to her. So I should speak to her tomorrow and have a good old chat. If I can get her of the same opinion that it's worthwhile walking away from this property and not owing any money, then happy days. We've just got access to this property. We can pay the £1,200 a month rent. We have to put a tenant buyer or a buyer in there to pay that amount, which is above market rent. But we've got the opportunity there of getting control of the property and making money from it long term. Nice little deal, simple one, problem solving, off we go. Next one was a couple where they own the property outright. It's a couple that were left some money by the parents. It's up in Peterborough. It's a new build property they bought a while ago. It's been up for about 8 months. They want 160 from it. They paid 880 for it back in 2010. It's clearly, well, actually, interestingly, they want 160 for it, but they've had it up for 8 months at that price and got no takers. Look on Mouse Price, and we looked on Zoopla, and the comparative prices on Mouse Price and Zoopla are 183,000 and 175,000. So that's above the 160 that they want, but it's not selling. So that's quite interesting. They want all the money though. They're both sisters are going separate directions. They want the inheritance out of that property, and they want to go and extend their own properties. So they're right now, even after 8 months, they're still of the opinion they want all the money and they want it all cash. Don't want to do any sort of creative deals at all. They want all the money now. But it's not moving. This one's a hopper deal. This one's a hopper. It's going to go in the hopper, and that's where it will stay until they suddenly get a dose of reality. Now, one of the ways we can maybe do this, and remember, we're not, unless you're a mortgage broker and you're qualified to give financial advice, you can't do this, and neither can I. But I've said to them, floated the idea past them, that look, yeah, well, some of the clients we've worked with in the past have actually remortgaged their property to pull the cash out now, and they've asked us to babysit the payments on it each month. So I'm just floating that across the bows and see if it might be something of interest to you and your sister. Now, if it really is worth 180 grand, now they potentially could pull out 130 grand of that. So, you know, that could be 65 grand each. Can they do their extension for 65 grand each? Yeah, probably they can. But they're not at that place at the moment. They need probably a little bit more time. It's in the hopper. We'll keep in touch with those guys. I'll probably speak to them in a week's time. If they're not ready then, it'll probably be a month's time, and we'll just keep on calling them back, keep on dropping ideas about what they can do. This last one is an opportunity I had come through an agent friend of mine who's also on the investor circuit. This is a property that has got a million pound mortgage on it. That's made up of about £960,000 mortgage and about £30,000 worth of arrears. They're ready to give their keys back in on this property. The agents have got it up for 850 grand, and I love this. The agents have said, well, put it down really low, then you get a bidding war on it and it'll go right up again. What a load of codswallop. Anyway, long story short, the guys literally have written to Northern Rock and said, I'm giving you my keys back, and they've had to give their 6 weeks notice. They just want away from it. But I've turned around and said this, look, I'll tell you what, there's 12 years left on the mortgage. Do we think that the house is going to be worth more or less than £850,000 in 12 years' time? Could it be worth more than £1 million? Could it be worth more than 1.1, 1.2? It could be, couldn't it? 12 years' time? Could it go up by £300,000? I think so. Could it go up to more than that? I think it's highly likely. So here's what I've kind of floated past him. I said, look, I'll tell you what. Let's say that we could just take this property on and babysit it for you. Make the payments every single month. We'll put somebody in there who will buy it long term, but we'll do it in 12 years' time, which is the length of the mortgage you've got left. And how about if we were to buy it from you for 1.1 million in 12 years' time? So, in 12 years' time, we'll pay off the £1 million that's owed, because it will have gone up in value, or we'll have played around with the overpayments and dragged the mortgage down over that time, and we'll give you £100,000 cash. And he's thinking, blimey, really, I can do that? He thinks it's a fantastic idea. So I'm just going to get a tiny bit of legal advice, because there's a little bit of background stuff I won't bother going into right now, but it could be a bit of a challenge. I just need to know whether we can do this. But this could work absolutely perfectly. And when this guy, because he's about 54 at the moment, 12 years' time, his retirement age, he can have 100 grand cash in his bank. Now, it's not going to be worth 100 grand in 12 years' time, but let's say it's only worth 80 grand in today's money. It's still better than nothing right now, and the mortgage company chasing after him for whatever's outstanding on this property when he gives the keys back. So there you go. That's Ben. I just want to share those 2 or 3 deals with you. I want to share the learning that we had on getting information through and never taking no for an answer. This is me, this is Ben, this is sitting in the office, this is the Property Diary. This is Wednesday the 27th of February. I'll look forward to speaking to you tomorrow, the last day of February. We're almost 1/6 of the way through 2013. There you go, guys. Speak to you tomorrow. Take care.